power has to go through him. He continues the use of the intendant, so he can't run the kingdom by himself. He needs that bureaucracy there to help him. And that's where these two dudes come in. There's actually a third one, but I used to always tell my classes about him, and then he would never be on the AP test, so unless you really care. Because Louis went to war a bunch of times, if you remember. He kept trying to take more land. He takes Franche-Comté, he takes Lorraine, he takes land up in the northeastern. There was a map that showed you the places, the land Louis adds through his wars. And it's impressive. He really does a lot to strengthen France as a country. He has the best and biggest army at the time, and he uses it a lot. Louvois is his minister, essentially minister of war. He's the one who kind of runs the army. He's not a general, but he's the one who works for Louis to make sure the army's there. The guy who I'm not going to tell you about is the siege master, so every time he attacks a city that doesn't want to let him win, he brings the other guy in. Who is Jean-Baptiste Colbert? Who is Jean-Baptiste Colbert? Paul?
He's the mercantilist.
He's the mercantilist. We're going to get mercantilism a lot in the next chapter too, but you also need to know it already. Okay? Mercantilism is the government economic policy. It was very popular in Europe at this time. And we went through some of those mercantilist policies, and Colbert is a mercantilist. That's how he runs the French economy. He's the one who gets Louis all the money that Louis then can spend. First half of Louis' reign, Louis is making money. Second half, he's spending more. He spends all of it and plus some to leave a lot of debt. But and that's a lot because of Versailles and all the wars. That just costs a lot of money. Colbert also supports the Navy because the Navy supports trade, and trade is one of the ways that mercantilists make money. Okay? Let me check my notes now before I move on, because last time I didn't check my notes. Very good. What is Louis' final war? It's the one you have to know. Louis' last war. It's the one you have to know. War of Spanish Succession. Okay. Spain runs out of heirs. They don't have a direct heir, so the next two direct guys are both princes. One's a Habsburg prince in the empire. One's a French prince. They both want them to be there. They fight over it. A bunch of countries fight over it. In the end, it's going to be Louis' grandson that takes over the Spanish throne. But in the treaty that you have to know, all my students figure this all the time, every year. Way to go, Kaylee. Peace of Utrecht. Utrecht. U-T-R-E-C-H-T. It's, I think, 1713 is Utrecht, and Louis dies in 1715, so this is his last really major thing in his reign, and then he dies, because all people die. So Utrecht shapes the end of the War of Spanish Succession. It says yes, even though the Spanish have already crowned, Louis' grandson says yes, Philip is going to be king. But it does say in the treaty, that France is not allowed to combine with Spain. They are going to remain, even though there's Bourbons on each throne, they remain separate people. Or Bourbon, if you're French. So yeah, that's fun. All right, let's go to Russia.